Joining us on the line with the latest news on the markets is Patrice Nzi, Head of Research at BICI Bourse. Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon. Patrice, at the top, run us through the kind of activity you're seeing on the markets in the Ivory Coast.
Right now, let's do a little recap of the first quarter of the market. For the first quarter, the BRVM 10 and the BRVM composite had a very good performance. For the BRVM 10, we can see a growth for the first quarter of 10.90%, and for the BRVM composite, there is a growth of 6.50%. The best performing indexes were the BRVM financials, with 11.12% growth for the first quarter, and the BRVM public services with 10% growth. Among the top performing stocks, we actually can see SAPH, which is the rubber producer company, with 35% growth for the first quarter. Sea Cable, the cable company of the Ivory Coast, with a 24.23% growth, and SGBCI, which is a subsidiary of Société Générale Bank in France, 18.28% growth.
Well, that's a quick overview of what exactly is playing out, some of the top performers as well. We've had quite a few companies making headlines, though, getting stock specific. Celebra held its AGM this week after having released its first quarter numbers. The West African brewer and drinks maker announcing an unchanged dividend of $24.79 per share. But that despite a drop in 2009 net profit. Did that come as a surprise to the market, Patrice?
That's not surprising because of the financial crisis, as you probably know. We have actually Shell, which is the oil distribution company, who's going through some issues right now, and actually they're considering getting rid of their oil distribution segment. And as you can see, for Shell Côte d'Ivoire, they will be holding their AGM on April 29, and they already released their financial statement. And as you can see, there is a drop in total revenue of 12% compared to last year, and also a drop in the net profit of minus 27%. And also the net dividend payout is dropping definitely by 25.66%. For BICI Bank, which is a subsidiary of the BNP Paribas Group, we can see actually a pretty good increase in net profit of 17.92%, and the net dividend payout of 18.52%. So the bank is still growing. The bank as a subsidiary is doing pretty good as like the parent company. For Solibri Côte d'Ivoire, as you mentioned earlier, there will be no dividend growth, so it will be like 12,060 francs CFA for 2009. So there is no actually change.
Let's really hone in on Celebra's operations here, because looking at the numbers, net profit fell to just over 14 billion CFA francs from 16.8 billion the year before. But sales were up significantly. It was buoyed by a spike in the price of cocoa, which ultimately gave farmers a lot more of a disposable income to spend on things like wine and beer. So what exactly is exerting pressure on Celebra's operations right now?
Currently, the pressure is probably due to the economic environment in Ivory Coast. I see the country is going through some crisis, and it looks like the company is being penalized by the situation, as opposed to the cocoa and production and coffee production, who's actually doing pretty well. And actually on the market, we can see that there is an increase in the cocoa and coffee price.
So just how much of a concern is this for investors at the moment, where they would, of course, like to see increased turnover actually translate into higher profit? Is that a concern at all, and is the company looking at re-strategizing?
The company is definitely looking at re-strategizing due to the economic environment right now. So we probably during the second and third quarter, you can see a change on the strategy, definitely.
Well, Patrice, we're going to have to leave it there. Thanks so much for your time this afternoon.